Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a free-for-all match on the map Potholes. I'm starting in the middle left position, playing as the Soviets. Now, I posted a game on the 1st of May, which was last week, Thursday, and it was the game before this, where I played a free-for-all match, and I'm going to do spoilers here, so if you do want to watch the game I played before this first, and you haven't seen it, it was last Thursday, 1st of May. But in that game, I basically went out and attacked the whole map, and it didn't work too well. In the end, it's sort of it was very fun for it, but there was just too many in the end, and I ended up getting killed. So this time I decided I'm going to stay a little bit out of trouble at the start of this game. Judging by the comments, it looks like two teams are already in trouble, and that's because on this map there is a little bit of an error that sometimes occurs. And what happens is two teams start in the same position, and it always happens in the middle right position. So there's two teams that are going to start next to each other, and it's going to be likely that one of those is going to get killed first, and the other one is going to be much weaker. And I've done a little bit of a mistake there because I let an orange infantry guy run right through my base, so that player is going to have a bit more visibility, unfortunately, on my base and what I'm doing. He is a Soviet player though, playing in orange, which is a good thing. It means I'm not going to get light tank attacked, but I am going to need to be a bit more wary now. And I've just got some infantry at the top of the map, like guarding the top of my base, because the closest team to me is the team to the north. Now, my position isn't too bad, even though it's the middle left position, which means I would be in between two teams. The thing is, the player who plays in the bottom left will have a team really close in the bottom middle, and they usually end up fighting at the start, so it's not too bad. And then the patch below me, there's sort of like a little compartment, and you can see my infantry running through that compartment, and there's three big ore fields there. So if I can get control of that, I can get a great economy from where I'm starting. It's just going to depend on who else is there and what resistance I have. And you can see the two teams that started together have been eliminated, so I think they basically killed each other off. And now you can see we're doing a bit of an expansion down to the south. Just sending some infantry down there, and a tank as well, just to get a bit of visibility. And at the moment we can see there's it doesn't look like there's anyone there. I'm also going to need to send some tanks to the top of my base just to defend there. And now you can see another team has been eliminated, so it's all kicking off here, even though we haven't had any action so far. And you can see it's a team in the bottom left that has been eliminated, which makes my life easier because I'm going to now be able to take control of this ore patch, and haven't had to do any fighting at all yet. So yeah, just going to get some of this uncovered, and what you'll see is there's another big ore patch there, so I'm going to get another ore refinery down there, and then there's another ore patch below me as well, so that's going to really help my economy and give me a good boost, because what the aim is to do is to get on those 3 war factories, and when you get on 3 war factories, that's a really good building speed. So I'm just going to have to wait to build a little bit more first, and just send that infantry just to see who is in the bottom middle, although I think it will be orange because he did have an infantry guy running through our base early on. And indeed it is, so we know that player there will just pull back for a minute because we don't want to get into any fights yet. And we're going to be getting that 3rd war factory out very, very soon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 2 of these ore trucks down to these southern ore patches, because what you can see is that ore patch next to my base is starting to run out, because I've got 4 ore trucks on a single ore patch. So to be more economical, what I want to do is move these ore trucks onto these ore patches that I've just moved onto, and that'll just mean my ore's going to last longer than it would do otherwise. With free-for-all matches, you can expect games to last longer, so sometimes you do need to think a bit more about the long game, as opposed to team games where they tend to be shorter. In most cases, of course, you can have long team games, but they tend to be over a lot quicker. And now just having a look around the map so far, I still haven't had an attack from the north. I'm also looking at the south now because we've got orange there. And because it's been quite quiet so far, it looks like I'm going to be able to go multi-MCV very soon. I'm just going to get this extra ore refinery out and this extra ore truck, and now I'm going to be going for my service depot so I can start building some MCVs. And just having a look again there. And the advantage of getting extra MCVs is, for one, I have spare ones in case I get one attacked and lose one. And the other thing is it increases my structure building speed, so I'll be able to build structures a lot faster, things like Tesla, and just expand my base a lot over the map. It just gives you that massive boost, and if someone goes multi-MCV and the other players don't, it just gives them a massive advantage. So there's my second MCV deployed, and that's going to mean I'm going to have double the building speed that I did before. I've also got my radar dome out, so it's always good to get a radar dome in 3-4 matches, but what you need to make sure first is you usually have a good economy going and good tank production, otherwise you're going to be vulnerable to early attacks. Now, one thing I'm just thinking about is whoever started in the top right position could be a threat if there is a player there, because they're going to have like free reign. We can see no one started in that middle position. So yeah, I'm just having a bit of a think now, because there's going to be a person on the map who's going to have no resistance at all, so he could be a big danger later on if he's just building up and being able to expand freely. And now you can see I'm getting quite a lot of these MCVs out, and now I'm back to producing tanks. I've got quite a few Tesla also protecting this middle section, just to try and deter Orange from trying to attack that area. Just building a bit of a wall of Tesla there, because I haven't got any tanks guarding there at the moment. And I'm going to get some extra ore refineries now placed on these extra ore patches, which is going to really help just boost my economy even more. And it's going to possibly allow me to build another war factory on top of what I've already got. I have a feeling the top left base is going to have some stellar defense actually, because he hasn't attacked me yet. And I'm going to be guessing there's going to be a load of Tesla coils there and all sorts. And just keeping my power up, and I'm just building my own defences as well. I'm going to sort of like try and crawl down to that ore patch, because there's a lot of ore trucks there, and they're going to be sort of like in close range so I just need to build an extra power plant to make sure. And you can see that Cyan have gone on the attack, and those light tanks are in my base. Now I do have a lot of Tesla here, and Teslas are very strong against light tanks, but they are in quite large numbers. So I'm just building Tesla ASAP, and you can see quite a lot of those light tanks being taken out quite quickly. The thing is, most players like to use light tanks to do base dives and destroy buildings, and while that's very effective early on, if you get later in a match where people have base defences, they become less and less efficient because people have larger tank armies. And you can see now Orange coming with his infantry to try and take out my Tesla, and infantry actually do surprisingly well against Tesla, but when you add a few flame towers in front, they don't do so well. And now you can see Orange having to retreat, and I'm starting to take out his buildings, and he's running away with his MCV because he can't fight what I've got. And now you can see that Cyan is coming with a bit of an army. I've also got Green in the north of my base, and you can see that light tank army is quite large. I'm going to take my army to defend against this, because it doesn't look like Green's on the attack at the moment. And you can see those light tanks are in large numbers, which might be a bit much for my Tesla. I'm also going to be expanding onto the bottom ore patch that I've just taken from Orange. And let's see if we can destroy that Cyan army and get rid of it. I'm also just built a base defense in the top, just in case Green do decide to go on the attack. Although we can see that Green does have some V2 rockets, which could pose a bit of a problem for Tesla, because V2 rockets do have good range and they do amazing damage, so could take out the Tesla quite easily. We can see Orange there, he did get away with his MCV, so we will need to chase him down later on. But for right now, it's important that I stabilise. I've defended from Cyan, and at the moment, I look like I'm okay. And hopefully that army's going to take a bit of time for Cyan to replenish. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a little look for Orange, see if he's close by. We want to take him out. We don't want to let him build up if he's right next to me in the bottom middle. Also got another MCV to deploy there. The further you get into the match, the more important building speed becomes, because all players start to get more control over the map and more control over the ore as the game goes on, so you have a big economy and can handle faster building speeds. And now I'm just having a bit of a look around. I'm going to build one of those ore refineries that I lost earlier. And so far he seems to be a bit elusive, this Orange player. Let's have a bit further look to the right, and there we can see the Orange's base. So it's obviously very small, and it looks like we're going to be able to take that out. And I think this will probably be Orange's last base, so we should be able to knock him out of the game here. And yeah, he's just saying it's a peaceful little village. It is a little village, and now it's no more. Orange is out of the game. So now we've got good map control, but we see a load of MiGs coming in and taking out one of my construction yards. So now this is where having multiple construction yards, it was very important, because I'm going to be able to build some SAM sites. And you can see now Cyan coming for the attack on the middle of my map. So while I'm building these SAM sites, I'm going to take my tanks to defend from those light tanks. And I've built some more extra MCVs there, so I'm going to be able to deploy those. And now you can see I'm getting those SAM sites established, and that's going to help defend against those MiGs. Once I get them in higher numbers as well. We can see that Cyan is coming to this point. He's going for an attack on the SAM sites, but I do have Tesla there, and I'm going to place some more Tesla around my base, just to hinder those light tanks and make it difficult for them to travel around. Because you can see almost one Tesla shot almost takes out a light tank. Although I'm going to need to make sure my power stays up, so those Teslas keep on firing. And yeah, you can just see we're building MCVs like mad, because green can keep on attacking, but as I get more defences, it's going to become less and less important. And those MiGs that green has, they are going to cost a lot. So it's not going to be very cost efficient once I get a lot of defences in place, because he's going to be spending so much to replace them that like taking out an MCV isn't going to really be cost effective. And I'm also just spreading my MCVs out to different locations. So I've got another few down there, and that's just going to keep my building speed going very, very fast. I'm also building some defences to this position to the bottom right, because I want to defend from Cyan if they attack me from that position, because I think they've attacked me more from the middle at the moment, but I haven't seen them come through the bottom right. But they did go there earlier when they were attacking Orange. They will have visibility of my bottom right position, because they did attack Orange early on in the game, so they would have attacked from that position before. So they will see that I'm establishing a base. So what I need to do now is I need to get the balance correct. I need to defend from the MiG attacks from green. I also need to defend from the tank attacks from Cyan. So it's getting that balance of like getting Teslas and base defences, and also building SAM sites to defend from those MiG attacks. I'm going for SAM sites instead of rocket troopers just because they're easier to control. Well, you don't have them running everywhere. And Cyan's saying he's got me surrounded. And now you can see that Rambo has decided to go now on the attack. So what he's got is he's got some missile launchers, V2 rockets, which do very well against Tesla, because they do a lot of damage and have a bit of a better range. We can see Cyan also attacking that bottom right position now, and I've just got like quite a few Tesla there, so hopefully that's going to be enough for the time being. And I'm going to be taking some tanks to the left just to defend against Rambo, because you can see there's a little bit of a gap there, and Cyan trying to take those tanks through that little bottleneck, and that's going to work well for him. He's going to have a bit more success though attacking from the bottom position, because he's managed to get his tanks through, and now he's going for those ore refineries. But what he's going to realise as he pushes in is that I've got quite a few Tesla a bit further back, and now he's going for those power plants. And I do have to be careful here, because those power plants could get put me low on power, and then my Tesla won't be able to fire. But I've got quite a couple of Tesla firing on those light tanks now. I've also got some of my own tanks there as well, and those light tanks going down very quickly. So just going for those power plants was a little bit of a mistake from Cyan, because he has lost a lot of tanks there. And now I'm going to be able to probably send some of my tanks a bit further back. But you can see now green coming in with the MiGs once again. And I don't know if he was going for that construction yard, because it was a bit undefended. It was a bit away from those SAM sites, which I think are deterring him from some of my other MCV construction yard sites. We can also see a medium tank there now, and medium tanks are definitely the more sensible tank unit to go for in this position, because they do have a lot more HP, they do a lot better against Tesla. So a good tank switch from Cyan there for himself. Not so good for me though, because it's going to make my base a bit more vulnerable. But he is in a bit of a bottleneck in that position on the map, as there are a lot of bottlenecks all over this map actually. And my Tesla doing some fine work. They still do like good damage no matter what tanks they're against. They do get good damage against heavy tanks as well. So if you have Tesla, it's always a good thing. But we're managing to push Cyan further and further back, which is making life easier for us. And now you can see Green still going for those MiG attacks, and now going for my ore refineries. But the thing is, I do have a good building speed, and I'm not too worried really about that. I'll build some more SAM sites just for good measure, but soon my whole base is going to be covered in SAM sites, and that's going to make things a lot easier in terms, because I'll be able to just take out those MiGs. But now we see Rambo going for the Tesla crawl, and there's quite a few Tesla there, so he's going to be attacking probably with units and Tesla together. So not only are we going to have to defend against the MiGs now, we're going to have to go against those Tesla. And yeah, he's actually destroyed some of my SAM sites with that Tesla crawl, so we might be a bit more vulnerable here. So now I'm just taking my tanks to this top position, because that's where I think most of the action and most big fighting is going to occur now. And I'm going to have to put Tesla in the other parts of my map to defend from Cyan. So let's see how this goes. We can see that Green does have a lot of missile V2 rocket launchers, so I'm going to have to defend from them. They're very good against base defences, but they're not very good against heavy tanks, because heavy tanks just have a lot more HP, they do a lot more damage. I'm also building some Teslas further back, so when he starts to get close, he's going to get hit by those Tesla, and they're going to be very hard to get to, because what's very effective is when you have tanks and Tesla defending together. And so let's see how this fight goes. You can see I've lost a lot of this starting position now, and you can see that Green army is quite large. He's got quite a large number of tanks because he's been building the whole game. He hasn't been getting attacked by other players from what I've seen. I don't know, he could have maybe earlier on. And those MiGs are now taking out my Tesla, so I don't have that Tesla to defend anymore, and this could put me in real trouble because I'm getting pushed further and further back. Although I do have some tank reinforcements coming in, and what I'm doing is I'm just trying to move these tanks around as much as possible and just get as efficient trade as I can. You have to remember that Green's also controlling his MiGs at the same time, which means he's not going to be able to micro his tanks as effectively, and that might mean I'm going to get a better trade here than I would otherwise. Yeah, because you can see those MiGs are still going for the attack, and they're still out attacking, and you can see his micro is not great. And just moving around as much as I can, and it looks like we're starting to whittle down those Green tank numbers quite a bit. I've also got a couple of Tesla there defending, so it's going very well for me, a little bit better. We can also see that Cyan has been eliminated from this game. I think what's happened with Cyan is he's just seen that my tank base is just too well defended for his tanks, and now I think he's just left the game. It's obviously put Green in a bit of a bad position, and now would have actually been the ideal chance to attack my base, but I think he just thought, oh, I'm going to be able to defend no matter what, and yeah, Green's now attacking me, so it's not really worked out that well for Cyan. And now I've got some SAM sites there, so I'm just going to be able to destroy some of those MiGs, but those MiGs going for different buildings, and that construction yard nearly goes down, but as I get these SAM sites put up again, hopefully that's going to halt Green's attacks a little bit, and I'm going to just be focused on his base. So I've got quite a few SAM sites there. You can see those Green tanks going down, and he's got a bit of problem with tracking there, so I'm going to hopefully get some easy unit kills there, because my tanks are in better numbers, and I'm also going to be able to start rebuilding up and build some more Tesla. And my Tesla building speed is going to be quite fast, you can see still, because I've still got a lot of construction yards up. I've also got a lot of funds at the moment, and that's partly because I've lost some war factories, so I haven't been producing tanks as quickly. I think I lost 2 war factories, so I might be down to just 1 war factory, which is quite bad at this stage in the game. So I'm going to get that 3rd war factory up quite quickly, and now I'm back to 3. And now I can start building, focusing on SAM sites and stuff like that, and have a decent tank speed. I mean, 3 war factories isn't great at this stage in the game, but I do have control of a lot of the map. And I do have a lot of SAM sites out now, so hopefully that's going to stop him attacking these construction yards further down the map. And you can see him trying to bring some paratroopers there, but they're going to be no match. And now it looks like we're going to be soon able to go for the attack on Green's base with these flame towers. And now we're just sending them out, and these flame towers can be really annoying. I'm going for the power plants first to try and turn those Tesla offline, and now you can see his tanks coming in. I wonder if his Tesla is offline. We'll try and take our tanks in, because when we take our tanks in, we want those Tesla to be not firing on us, of course. And now just bringing some flame towers to the left there. And it looks like I'm going to need to bring my own tanks in. Let's see if those Tesla are still online. They are, unfortunately, so that's going to be kind of annoying, because it's a little bit of a bottleneck. It's going to be quite hard for me to get through, so it means I'm going to have to focus on fighting Tesla as well as tanks, and that is a difficult combination. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of my own Tesla involved, because with the base crawl, and you can see his tanks going for that immediately. But I'm going to keep on building more Tesla. Hopefully I should have a better building speed than Green. I should have a bigger economy, because I think Green's been isolated to this top left for most of the game. And it was only Cyan who quit recently. So let's see what we can do here. But we can see that Green is coming for an attack at the other side of the map. But I do have some Tesla there. Even though I don't have any tanks, I should be able to defend from just 4 heavy tanks. And you can see those tanks slowly going down. They're already on low HP, and now going further into my base, they're getting hit by other Tesla, and that is mission accomplished. So an interesting game there. Some MiG attacks as well as tank attacks. Attacks from both sides as well. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.